Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today let's talk about some jobs that you can work that don't require you to deal with people. So I've really been thinking about like what types of jobs that a lot of us want. Like what kind of jobs would make the human being tolerate life a little bit like better, right? Because oftentimes I think one of the reasons we hate our jobs the most is because of the people that we end up having to deal with, right? So that could be customers, that could be employees, that can be coworkers, right? So if you position yourself to not have to deal with people, right? Employees, annoying customers, things that you don't like, if you can somehow position yourself to deal with that, not have to deal with that at all, or deal with that less, then I think you'll like your life a lot more, right? Because let's face it, we spend the majority of our days in environments that we don't like most of the time, right? So it makes sense that if we want to have a good life, right? You know, I made a video a few days ago talking about why people's 9 to 5 holds them back the most in life, right? And the best way to optimize your life is to optimize the thing that you have to spend the most time at, which is your job, right? So you know, there's a lot of things that you can do, right? I mean, there's so many opportunities online with the internet. You guys know that. But like, if I were to ask myself, right, if I'm a person who knows like, hey, like I'm not trying to deal with that type of crap, right? I'm not trying to put up with gossiping and backstabbing and customer complaints and things that, you know, I have no control over, right? Because I have to, you know, make money to keep myself alive. I would do one of probably like 4 different jobs, right? So number 1 would be security, right? Security, you know, if you work second shift or overnight. Now it's important you do second shift or overnight, because if you do day shift, right, you're going to encounter probably a lot more people, right? But if you're working second shift, right, 2 to midnight, 3 to midnight, 3 to 11, or you work overnight, you're not going to see a lot of people, right? And in that time, that time that you're sitting there, right, yeah, you might get a little bored, right? But I'll tell you this, your stress levels are probably not going to be as high, right, as opposed to someone working a day job with a bunch of people around them, right? So and during that time, you can figure out what you want to do with life. You can work on something entrepreneurial, you can work on classes, you can work on something you're studying, something you're trying to learn, right? So I think security is a great idea. Obviously, it's not going to pay you a large sum, but it's a stepping stone, right? If you want to do something else, right, with your life, you want to go to school maybe, right, to get something advanced that's going to pay you a lot, you can use the security job to kill kind of like 2 birds with 1 stone, right? So I think that's a good idea. I know some people that do that. I haven't personally worked security. I might do it in the future. We'll see. But I think that's a great idea for people who just are sick of dealing with the crap that comes with dealing with coworkers and customers, right? So number 1 is security. Number 2 is DoorDash / food delivery, right? Now, driving people around like just regular Uber or regular Lyft, that's a little different, right? Because, you know, you're driving someone around constantly. You're driving a certain number of people around, so that might not be something you want to do, because you might not want to talk to people. You might want to listen to, you know, audiobooks or something that's going to help you be more knowledgeable, right? So, you know, if you want to do like food delivery services, right, I know that it's kind of like, at least in my area where I live, it's kind of booked up right now, so it's not the easiest thing to get into, but it's something to consider, right, if you want to stay away from people, right? And then number 3 is a trade, right? Because here's the thing with a trade, right? Yes, will you deal with people if you have a trade, if you're in HVAC, if you're an electrician, if you're doing something with your hands? Of course. If you're a private contractor, of course, right? Because the job site, right, you're going to people's houses, you're dealing with their frustrations possibly, you're dealing with things you might not know how to solve, right? And that's the downside of maybe working a trade. Like, you have to maybe deal with something that you might not know how to fix. Maybe you have to go get a part that, you know, you didn't have, that now you have to tell the person that wants their thing fixed that, hey, it's going to be a little delayed because I got to get a part, right? So it's all, you're going to have to deal with people regardless. I'm just giving you guys, I'm just trying to open your eyes to things that require you to deal with people less, right? Because you can't avoid people completely, right? The nature of work, the nature of business is exchange, right? So exchange means there's another person, right, on the other side, right? When you're trying to make a sale to somebody, there's another person. When you're offering a service to somebody, there's another person. When you're delivering food, you're delivering it to someone who's going to receive it, right? So there's going to be people on the other end of everything you do. So a trade is another way to kind of deal with people less. Now, like I said, are you going to still deal with people? Of course, but it's less, which is better than being around multiple customers and multiple coworkers on a daily basis. And then number 4 is doing something online, right? So I do YouTube, right? Now, obviously it doesn't cover my living expenses, but the act of me posting a video, right, requires me to do it myself, right? I'm generating the thoughts, I'm generating the ideas for the content, right? You guys are on the other end watching, right? But I can't hear you, right? When you comment, I can't hear a vocal comment. I just see words when you guys comment. So I'm not really dealing with people, right? And if someone says something that I don't want to respond to, I just don't respond to it, right? So I think the online world is a great way to get yourself away from people, right? Because if you do YouTube, right, just one example, that's the only thing I have experience with online is like I said, I don't deal with people, right? If someone comments something, I don't respond. And another thing too, it's like this is the type of work that I do, the type of things that I talk about. These are things that I enjoy talking about, right? So I was telling one of my buddies, like, the difference between being a coach and being someone who makes YouTube videos, right, versus someone who's like in customer service, right? Typically, when you're helping someone in customer service, right, they're typically mad at you, right? So it's, let's say someone gets an item, or let's say someone gets overcharged for something and they want a refund, right? That's typical in customer service, right? They're typically mad at you, right? Or let's say someone goes outside to pump gas, right, at a gas pump, and the handle's gone. Now they come in and they're mad because they had to come back in. They're mad at you, right? Even though it might not be your fault, but they're mad at you, right? So you got to deal with that. But if you are a coach, right, or if you're someone who's in the business of making people's lives better, people aren't mad at you, they're mad at themselves, right? So you're trying to help people that are frustrated with themselves, whether it's they're dealing with something, they're dealing with like an addiction, they're dealing with like bad eating habits, or maybe they're dealing with problems in their relationship. So you got to realize that helping people, right, is not necessarily like it's a higher form of service, right? Customer service, right, is like grunt work, right? It's like the work that the corporate structure sets you up with so that they don't have to deal with it, right? Because the people who are higher up in the corporate ladder, right, the higher you go, the less you have to hear from other people, right? So if you're, like I said, in customer service, or you're in a physical location where there's direct one-on-one confrontations and interactions with other people, that work the higher ups don't want to do. So that's why you're there, right? So understanding that is key to realizing like how to navigate work and how to deal with people less, right? Because like I said, it's not fun, guys. I'll tell you this, right? I know that there's going to be struggle with everything in life, right? There's no pros and cons, there's no cons, right? There's never not going to be bad things that you don't have to deal with, right? Even if you have a family, right, you're going to have to deal with things you don't want to deal with. You have a great girlfriend or great boyfriend, there's going to be things they do that you don't like at some point, right? So dealing with people is inevitable, right, in life. But I want you guys to be set up. I want you guys to set your life up to be in a position where you can minimize your stress levels, right? Because here's what people don't talk about when it comes to dealing with excessive people in a work environment. It comes with stress, it comes with headaches, it comes with fatigue, right? You feel like your energy is being drained, right? And it's like, bro, if you you know, I don't think we human beings mind physical work as much as we mind dealing with other people's bullshit, right? And other people's emotional reactions, right? Because typically, guys, when you're dealing with customers or you're dealing with employees that are not performing, that are doing things that aren't conducive to, you know, the betterment of the work environment, when you correct them, it's typically not fun, right? Because if they repeat the same behaviors, then you got to talk to them again, right? So dealing with what it really is, guys, it's stupidity, right? We don't want to deal with stupidity. We don't want to deal with people lashing out at us, getting mad at us for no reason, right? It's like, bro, like, why do we have to get paid? You know, I mean, there's obvious reasons for it, but like, it sucks to be thinking to yourself, like, damn, I just literally get paid to deal with people's bullshit, to deal with people's emotions, right? And it's like, bro, do you want that to be your that's a horrible life, right? Because remember, you got to work, you got to support yourself, you got to eat. So the thing you do 5 days a week, right? You better make sure that that thing is something that's at least it minimizes stress, right? Because everyone talks about doing what you love, right? Doing work that feels effortless, that comes naturally to you. And yes, right, that is a component of having a good career or business or vocation. But I think another part of it is managing stress, right? If you have a job that is stressful, right, i.e. dealing with excessive amounts of people, then I don't think you're gonna have a very fun life, right? People die from stress, right? Stress is a cause of death, right? It makes your hair gray, right? It kills brain cells. So stress and worry and dealing with bullshit at work, right, with customers and employees, that's something that you want to minimize. And if you can find a career or a job that gets you away from that, that you can do on a daily basis, whether it's full-time, whether it's part-time, or whether it's just something you do in the meantime to get to doing something else, then I think it's a good gig for you to venture into, right? So that's going to be totally up to you and totally up to what you want to do. But you guys got to really consider that, because if you don't figure out how to get away from people, right, you're going to deal with the same shit over and over and over again. You're going to deal with the same stress, the same stupid little petty problems over and over again, right? So I don't want that to be you. I want you guys to have somewhat of a stress-free life, and a stress-free life leads to higher testosterone levels. It leads to a better mood, right? Nothing kills your mood more, nothing kills your energy more than stress, right? So yeah, guys, that's it. That's all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. If you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down below. And as always, I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.